G'day. Today I'm going to talk with you about Allen keys, or if you prefer, hex keys. To help me do that, in front of me I've got a selection of hex keys. I'm going to talk about each of these in a little bit of detail. I also want to make a point here. This video is sponsored by nobody. I haven't been paid or provided any freebies to promote anything in this video. This is pure opinion based on my experience of the tools that I have in front of me. I'll start with the random assortment of Allen keys over here. The reason I feel it's important to include this is when you purchase anything, particularly in the remote control car world, you'll often be provided with a little bag of Allen keys to fit the various fasteners that come with your remote control car. In my experience, the type of Allen key or hex key that is provided, it's usually of a pretty low quality and likely to end up frustrating you in a pretty short amount of time. To explain why, I'm just going to get right in close. What you're looking at there, that shiny end of the Allen key, is the corners of the hex starting to round off. That's one end of the key, and this is the other. Once an Allen key or hex key has started to round off at the ends like that, not only does it now have a reduced effectiveness to do its actual job, it's also going to transfer its damage into the fastener that you use it on. I guess if you're starting out in the hobby, you're just in it for a taste to see whether you like it or not, then tools that come with the remote control car, they're probably suitable in the beginning. Once you start working on remote control cars a lot more, you're running up against the limits of what this kind of tool can do for you. Then you might want to start looking into getting some tools made of higher grade material, which will last a little bit longer. Before I get right into it, a little bit about why tools and fasteners like this actually fail in the first place. To help you visualize that, I've got this 3D model of an Allen key and a screw. The Allen key needs to slot into the screw. If it's a neat fit, there's only a very tiny amount of play right here at the end. The tighter the fit between the hex key and the screw, the better the driving is going to be. You can see there the edges of the hex key move backward and forward against the walls of the inside of the screw. The more precise, the less movement will be allowed in between. This means more torque can be transferred from the key into the screw. It's worth observing here that the effective radius torque is transmitted from an Allen key into a hex socket screw. It's very small compared to the outer diameter of the screw head, or even the thread itself. Torque is a result of force and radius. Transmitting the required torque at such a small radius requires a very high contact force between the hex key and the socket faces. That places the hex interface at a significant mechanical disadvantage. As a result, the stresses at the hex faces can be extremely high relative to the overall torque needed to turn the screw, which is one of the key reasons why internal hex screws are prone to failure, particularly if either of them are made from poor quality materials or when tolerances are poor. I've simulated a worn end of an Allen key, and as you can see, when that goes down into the screw, there's a lot of room for error and rotation. Unless the key is all the way into the recess, there's an extra high risk of damaging the screw. because the force has a much lower surface area to be transmitted into the screw itself. The next likely contributor to hex key and screw wear is if the key itself is unable to be pushed for some reason all the way into the recess. You can imagine if there was some kind of dust or dirt anywhere in the corners of the recess here, it would only take a small stone that you've picked up in your last drive. You're unable to push the key all the way in. It doesn't matter whether the key is worn or not. If you have a stone or some Loctite hanging around in the base of the recess here that can stop the Allen key from going all the way into the recess, then you've just significantly reduced the amount of surface area that the key has to transmit its torque into the screw. The next set of Allen key on my list is these T-handle. You can really grip it and put a fair bit of torque into the item that you're trying to turn. One of the disadvantages with this set, a more higher quality set would be better, is that the ends round off very easily. When the end gets a bit rounded off like this one is, I can just knock off the last 1/8 of an inch or so with a grinder and away it goes, ready to keep using it. That's one of the benefits of this kind of set. It's also one of the drawbacks. This is a kind of generic no-name brand. It's pretty soft metal, so you're forever dressing the ends of the tool to be able to continue using it. With a regular set of Allen keys like this, the great thing is having a nice neat package that you can keep them in. This Allen key set has the ball end on the long side. It's good to have the ball end sometimes because you can get away with not having the Allen key perfectly perpendicular to the fastener. This is useful. Just remember, you shouldn't be using that when you're finally tensioning a fastener down or when you're first breaking the fastener's hold at the loosening stage. If you're trying to do that, then you're likely to round the inside of the fastener or round the Allen key. The set here, I purchased these off Amazon around 1.5 years ago. They're of a pretty good quality. Certainly have a higher quality than low-end Allen keys that I showed you earlier. The ends are machined quite nicely and they fit tightly into the fasteners. These gave me a good year of reliable use before the ends started to show wear. As a result of that, I'm no longer using these. The centers are actually replaceable. I haven't actually seen any refills available. The good thing about this set of Allen keys is the length is quite good, which means it's easy to hold the driver perpendicular when you're applying torque to it. That makes a big difference in driving the fastener without rounding it out. The last set of hex key drivers that I wanted to share is these MIP tools. I've bought these ones fairly recently and paid a pretty premium price. These came from the USA. I was reading on remote control car forums that these were a lot of people's preferred drivers. I thought I'll give them a try. At first I was a little bit reluctant. Once I took delivery of them and held them in my hands and really took a close look at them, I could see why people like them. The quality is really, really high. The machining on the end of those is very precise and the fit in fasteners very firm without that sloppy sort of feeling that you get sometimes. Anyway, that's my little video about Allen keys. See you later.